Do you know that geography and God are very closely related? You may have never thought that this subject of geography could be taught from a Christian worldview or a Christian perspective, but it relates so much to God. I so enjoyed teaching geography last year and the year before in our Christian co-op, and really explaining to the children that it's so important to know about all of the peoples and the nations of the world, because God sees them all. And he's made each group unique. Each group reveals who he is in a different way. Each group there's a purpose God has for that nation. And it's really so fun to get to know the different peoples of the earth, where they live, what their climate is like, and what their resources are like, and what are the challenges geographically that they face, but also looking at what is the imprint of God on this people. And I got to share with them, for example, how the work of God in France is one of the ways you can see God's hand on the people, the French people, is that if you go to Paris and you look at the highest point in the city of Paris, it's the cathedral dedicated to the passionate heart and love of God for the world. It's a fascinating place to see. And this spot looks out over the whole city of Paris. And in it, we see really God's heart for Paris and the people of France. He loves them with a passionate love. And this love, within this cathedral, you'll also see paintings of missionaries that took this love of God to the New World, to the Native Americans, and shared with them the love of God. And so we see that God's heart for the world is actually within this cathedral. In this painting, it shows that God has a heart for every people group of the world. And when people catch a hold of that, it's like a fire within them. And then they take that message to those people and share that love. And then those people are totally impacted by the love of God. And so through geography, we can open up kids' hearts and understanding to a world outside of the world where they live, a world outside of their little community. And we can open them up to the heart of God and really to world missions. And this is a fun, exciting adventure. Another place that I shared with them and was able to visit this past year was Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. Now, most people think of Rio and they think of partying and all this illicit stuff, but they don't realize that in Rio is a very famous statue built hundreds of years ago on the highest point of Rio. And it's called the Resurrection Christ. The Christ of the Resurrection, I think it's called. And this statue is the wide open arms of Jesus at the highest point of the city, and it's looking out on the beautiful ocean and the city of Rio with Jesus' open arms, and it's showing his love and the love of God for the people of Rio and the world. And so these are wonderful pictures of God's heart for the world, and through geography, getting to know people and places and the uniqueness of these peoples, we can begin to see that God has been working in all of these nations, that he has a purpose for them, that they are special in his sight, that he cares about them, and so many wonderful things. So this is, as Christian educators, we take back the study of geography from the secular world. And we do that by looking at God's heart for the world. And his geography's origin and purpose is in the God who created this world and in the people that he created on this world. So that's our starting point, and it's a wonderful study. I hope you enjoy teaching it.